Welcome, everyone, to episode number 73 of Talking Kentucky. My name is Coleman Scott. His name is Caden Holmes. And today we're joined for the second time by the one, the only Corey Price. Everybody knows Corey, the UK stats expert. He works for the UK Sports Network doing UK football statistics, sitting up next to Tom Leach in the booth. And Corey, we're really excited to have you on again. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm glad to be back on. I know it's been a while since my first time, so I'm ready to get the show started.
Yeah, when was that? I feel like it was back after basketball season had ended. Am I right about that? Or was it still during basketball season?
I think it was after, but I'm not completely sure.
I think it
Unfortunately,
was after
yeah,
because I knew we were talking about if Oscar was coming back or not. At least before the show started, we were just talking about that before we went live here. So Caden and I have continued our Kentucky background theme going on here, picking a different place in Kentucky to be our background every week. Mine, as Corey correctly identified before the show started, is the University of Kentucky Arboretum, where Corey and I have already established we both spent lots of time when we were students at the University of Kentucky there. Corey said he took many a walk there. I took many a run there. I went there almost every day. And Caden, that place is goated. I know you haven't spent as much time there, but that place is awesome.
Yeah, it's great. I took a run around that place several times too while I was in college, and like you're saying, not as much as you did, but it's so peaceful and just you're walking around there and you think, man, this is what Lexington's supposed to feel like. So I love that
If
place.
if I could pick a place to live, I'd probably live in one of those houses at the Arboretum.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, we
like
were talking about that. Man, that'd
your
be perfect.
your backyard like is essentially the arboretum. Like I feel like that would be awesome. So, if I could choose one of these houses to live in, if I were Cal and I had $9 million, I would live over by the arboretum, not over where he lives off of what Richmond Road is it? I feel like that'd be too
With
noisy.
with that much money, you could probably just buy the Arboretum.
Just buy the arboretum. That's right. I mean, I think you could. I think you could,
The
but
water tower probably comes with it. So
probably you got all your lifetime supply of water. You don't need any water. It's just there, and it's got a UK on it. So I mean, what more could you want? But Caden, what's in your background there?
yeah, so I did Patty's, I believe, last time, and so it made me think, like, what's right down the road from Patty's, and that's Land Between the Lakes, Lake Barkley and Kentucky Lake. I don't know if you all Coleman, I think you've been to Land Between the Lakes,
I
but
have, yes.
but it's really a peaceful place. I grew up going there fishing and jet skied there a few times, and it's just a neat place to hang out. You're kind of like in the middle of nowhere. There's a lot of small towns around that'd be really cool. A lot of people around here go retire at some of those small towns, and they get to basically live on the lake over here. So it's really cool place to go and hang out.
Corey, tell us about your background there.
so Caden has land between the lakes. I have land between the walls. Um, just a house,
Yep. I mean, but that is Louisville back there, right? You are in Louisville.
It's a little way up.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, nice, nice. Nice shirt too.
Nice
We're
couch.
rocking the good shirt. Yep, yeah, just get that going on. Yeah, we got the couch and yeah, so
Yeah,
it's all good. But hey, we stepped up our game since last time you're on here though. We got these fancy
yeah,
overlays now,
yeah.
and we're streaming to YouTube and Twitter in addition to Facebook and yeah, so we're just trying to step up our game here. So um we got a lot of stuff to get into tonight. I mean, we're definitely going to talk some Kentucky football since it's the bye week, especially. We're going to kind of recap the first half of the year, preview the second, talk about some Kentucky basketball. The preseason rankings came out, so we'll talk about that a little bit. But probably more importantly than anything, we've got a Halloween candy bracket going on tonight that we're going to do. And I asked Corey if he would be down to do a Halloween candy bracket with us. And he said, yeah, because he loves all things Halloween, costumes, candy, movies, whatever.
That's right.
And from being friends with Corey on Facebook, I feel like I have noticed that Corey is a big Halloween fan, it seems like. So is that correct, Corey?
Yep. Started about maybe 10 years ago or so, I started watching one horror film each day during the month. It's awesome. I watch anything from films from the 1920s that are silent to movies that came out recently. It's awesome. And then I cap it off usually on Halloween because of work this year. I'll be doing it on the 29th, where I watch all of the Halloween film franchise minus the 2 Rob Zombie ones. So probably around 7 a.m. to about midnight, I'll be watching Halloween on Sunday.
He's a Halloween connoisseur.
Yeah, Halloween connoisseur. Yeah. You know, I'm. Oh well, yeah, you got the shirt for it. No, for sure. But you know, I've never been a big horror movie or scary movie kind of guy. I don't even think I've ever seen a singular one. I don't know. It's just never been my thing. I like the costumes. I like the candy. The horror films, not so much necessarily.
What's your favorite horror film, Corey?
Well, this one, of course. It's not even close. Yeah. I tend to lean towards the slashers because, in my mind, those can happen in real life. Just some crazy guy going crazy and stabbing people or whatever. The ones I can't really get into are the ones that, in my opinion, can't happen, like the ghosts and the demons and the exorcisms and all that stuff. That doesn't really do much for me, so I try to go more towards like the slashers. Okay. So like Freddy and Jason and Michael Myers, all that kind of stuff.
I can't say I know a ton about that, but I'll trust your opinion on those. So you'll be our resident stats and horror films expert here on Talkin Kentucky. But so, you know, I started out with this Halloween candy bracket, just wanting to do 16 teams because, you know, Sweet 16. I mean, it just fits, right? Like I thought that would just be good. But then I started thinking of more and more candies, and I got to do a 32 team bracket. And really, I could have done, you know, a 64 team. I could have gone full NCAA tournament here if I wanted to. I feel like there's enough candies out there. But
well, technically, it'd be 68 candies now.
Oh, but I guess it would be 68 candies. That's right. It would be with the play-in. But I did end up doing 32 teams. But then, Caden, I think you decided that you made an executive decision to do a little bit of a play-in game here. So we got like a first 4 candy thing, right?
Well, I just to a couple of the games, I just added like a Twizzler / Butterfinger for the 5 seed.
I gotcha.
Also,
Sweet Tart / Almond Joy for the 4 seed down here. So that's only 2 I added.
Also, I don't want to be that guy, but I will be. Champion is misspelled. Just saying.
I did not create this, by the way. I got the template, so yeah, I can't even change it. I can change it. All right.
Okay.
We're gonna fix this.
Hey, Caden misspelled champion. He's just trying to he's just trying to blame it on something else, but Chamapion or something.
Yeah, Chamapion.
Yeah.
Is that the same thing as Chamomile? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, is that
Chamanon?
Yeah. I don't know. Caden, have you listened to KSR in the past few days?
No, I haven't. Is that what they're talking
about? Well, Matt mispronounced chamomile. He said chamomile or something like that, or chamomile.
Chamomile.
Chamomile or something like that, but it is in fact chamomile. So we can have our own misspelling or mispronunciation here on Talkin Kentucky of a different CH word.
Well, they got championship right. They just didn't get champion right. Yeah. So,
well,
anyways,
can't win them all. But let's go ahead and start. What I want to do is kind of split this up throughout the show and do a region, take a break, talk some Kentucky sports, do another region, you know, that kind of thing. So let's kick it off here, kick off the episode and do a region here. Why don't we do the East region to start off with? I feel like that'd be a good one to start with, especially since it's pulled up there in the corner. So you guys ready for this? You down?
Yeah.
There's some controversial ones here, Coleman. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm ready.
There are. Now I did the seating, you know, so if you have a problem with the committee, you could take it up with me and Mitch Barnhart.
I think I have a problem with this first matchup, honestly.
Well, so Reese's is a 1 seed and Dots are an 8 seed. Okay. Now, I'm allergic to peanuts, so any peanut candy in here, I'm gonna have to kind of take it with a grain of salt because I've never had it. But I do feel like I'm probably gonna go Reese's in this one because I think dots are just that bad. Like you take one bite of a dot and it's just like perpetually stuck to your teeth. And they kind of taste like pine saw, especially the green ones. So even though I have peanut
Why are
allergy,
you eating green dots?
I'd probably go Reese's on this one. Well, I mean, there's green ones in there. I'm not just gonna throw the green dots away. You don't want to go to waste. You're
Well,
gonna
you
eat them
getting
still.
rainbow dots or something?
Rainbow dots. They're different colors, Caden. They're like the gummies, the
But
dots.
can't
Like
you get like different flavors? Like you don't have to get green, right?
no, well,
Well,
not in my experience. They're all like mixed in the same thing, right? Are you thinking of Dippin' Dots?
Oh yeah, I
The
was thinking
ice
of Dippin'
cream?
Dots.
No,
Yes.
not Dippin' Dots. These are the dots like the gummy candies. You know what I'm talking about? They're gummy
No,
and they're really, really bad.
I'm not familiar with dots, but this makes a lot more sense now. I was about to
Okay.
be mad about the Dippin' Dots.
Yeah, I don't even know if there are green Dippin' Dots, but anyway, I think Reese's would probably be my vote to move on to the second round.
Agreed. There's nothing better with chocolate than peanut butter, so Reese's.
as Will Arnett would say, Reese's sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. Reese's moves on to the second round. Oh, nice, Caden. Caden's got if you're listening back on podcast, you can't see this.
Yeah,
Caden's got this nice little Excel sheet, and he's even got little check boxes where he doesn't even have to type in the name. He could just check Reese's and Reese's
We don't have
automatically.
pictures, but just check it. So
Yeah, no, that's okay. Now with this 4-5 matchup here, I feel like this is kind of a tough matchup. We got Crunch Bar and Skittles, both of which I love, and it kind of depends on if you're more of a chocolate guy or if you're more of a fruity kind of sugary candy guy. On this one, like I think Skittles are like banned. I've heard they're banned in California now because of this like red dye number. It's like red dye number 3 or red dye number 4. Apparently, it causes cancer or something like that. So I feel like we can't have stuff that causes cancer moving on to the Sweet 16. So I would probably pick Crunch Bars for that reason.
yeah, I'm gonna go with Crunch Bar too, just because I'm a fan of chocolate, and I like Skittles. I mean, I'm not gonna bash Skittles, but I'm going with Crunch Bar just because chocolate always wins in my mind.
Ooh,
I'm with you guys. Chocolate and sugar, it's really hard to say no to either. But I'll probably lean Crunch Bar. But like I said, this one's a tough matchup.
So we're chalk so far in this, and we're all agreeing. So we don't really have much disagreement yet. Let's move on to the next matchup here, the 3-6 matchup. We got Milky Way against Twix. I'm gonna go because does Twix have? Well, first of all, what's the difference between Milky Way and the Twix? Because I don't like on paper.
Well, they
don't
both
even know.
have caramel, right?
They both have caramel. I think they both have chocolate too, don't they?
Yeah,
Yes.
they're both chocolate and caramel. Milky Way has like that tough, gooey, chocolatey stuff as well, like below the top layer. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think so.
What's it called? I
It's
can't
like
think of the name.
it's like kind of a whipped like thing. It's like whipped chocolate or something like that, I think,
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
malted something or another.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Twix is just cookies, right? Well, I think Milky Way would probably be over the top there. So I'd probably have to go Milky Way personally.
I'm gonna go Twix on this one. I really like Twix. I'm gonna leave it up to Corey.
I'm shaking it up.
So full disclosure, I don't like either of these.
Oh man.
Yeah. Milky Way is our galaxy, and one of my best friends has a dog named Twix. So I'm gonna go with my friend's dog and go with Twix.
Go with
I like
Twix
this
with
logic.
the upset. Moving on.
Coleman, he sounds like us when we're like picking games.
He does.
Like the SEC games. Like that's the kind of logic I'm looking for. Hey, Josh, in the comments, he's talking about getting gummies from Cornbread Hemp. So I don't think those kind of gummies made our bracket, Coleman, but
they did not. No.
I mean,
you don't want to hand those out at Halloween to kids.
No. No,
That's
definitely
not
not the
good.
kids. No.
Yeah. Yeah, don't want to do that. So, next we have Kit Kat and Sour Patch Kids. Now, I feel like Sour Patch Kids is underseeded here, and they had a bad regular season. They lost to South Carolina. So that's why they got down to the 7 seed there. Kit Kat is hard to beat, but I feel like Sour Patch Kids, when they have a good day, like Bruce Pearl says, they on a good day nobody can beat them. So I think I'd have to go Sour Patch Kids with the upset here.
Like I already said, I'm a chocolate fan, so I'm going Kit Kat on this one.
Oh, Corey's
I'll
got
leave it up
decided
to
again.
Corey again.
Yep.
My question about Sour Patch Kids is where are all the Sour Patch parents?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I know. He's letting the kids loose.
I'm definitely I lean more towards chocolate more often than not, so I'm gonna go Kit Kat as well.
Kit Kat, Sour Patch Kid. It was a good run. It was a good run, but Sour Patch Kids get beat at the buzzer by Kit Kat. Kit Kat gets by, moves on the second round. So that rounds out all those matchups, right? So now we got to do Sweet 16 in the East. So what do we got up here, Caden? We got Reese's and Crunch Bar. Okay, so this is where the only reason I voted Reese's last time was because I think dots are that bad. Crunch Bar, just because peanut butter would kill me, I'm gonna go Crunch Bar in this one.
Am I saying it wrong? Reese's. I think I'm
Is it
going. I think
Reese's
you
or
all.
Reese's?
I say Reese's. I think that's incorrect, but that's still what I'm going with.
Yeah. Reese's or Reese's would kill me only because it's so awesome and good. So I'm gonna go Reese's over Crunch Bar.
Ooh, moving on.
Reese's is goated. I'm not gonna lie. So
Reese's makes the region champion here. Moving on to the Elite Eight. Now we have Twix and Kit Kat. I've got to go Kit Kat in this one. They break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. It's like the break time for what's the slogan again? It's like something about a break time.
yeah,
Right.
Give me
I can't.
Give me a break, something like that.
Something like
I don't
that.
know. Well, I like breaks and I like Kit Kats, so I'm gonna go Kit Kat. Go Cats.
They're both kind of crunchy, chocolatey. They got some similarities, but I think Twix is severely underseeded here. So, and I think Kit Kat's a little overseeded. So I'm going with the upset. I'm picking Twix.
Twix. Corey, he's got to decide it again.
I'm going with the wafer goodness of Kit Kat.
Oh, man.
Moving on. Twix, I had him in the first half, not gonna lie. Okay, now we got to pick our first Final Four, round out this East region here. Reese's and Kit Kat. I've got to go. I got to go Kit Kat again in this one. I know people love Reese's, and I know Scott Holmes and even Jamie are in the comments here. Talking about how good Reese's are and everything.
Jamie says frozen Reese's.
Yeah, frozen Reese's. I mean,
that's a good idea.
That's got to be another thing that's really good, especially the peanut butter inside. But I still got to go Kit Kat. I think they got snubbed with the 2 seed here. I think Kit Kat really should have been a 1 seed. So this could be a championship matchup, honestly.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Reese's is just goated. Like, it's going to be hard to beat Reese's. It's like 2015 Kentucky kind of thing.
Yeah, it's hard to. Well, they could be done, as we know.
Yeah, well.
So I've got
think about that. It can be done with a bad ref, but yeah, I'm going Reese's in this one.
So I've got a question. Where is the East Regional Final being played? Is it being played in Philly or what? Because this might change my call.
Well, that's a good. Well, if it's in Indianapolis, Cats don't play well in Indianapolis, as we know. So I would probably, if it's in Indianapolis, then Kit Kat's not going to be good. Where's Reese's from? Like where Reese's founded?
I believe it's Hershey, PA. I believe.
Really? It's Hershey too?
It's a Hershey. Yeah,
it's Hershey's. Okay,
pretty sure.
Well, yeah, we'll go ahead and say that it's being played in we'll do it in Philly. So Reese's got the home crowd.
Yeah, home crowd. Honestly, as a kid, I leaned more towards Kit Kat, but growing up, I definitely love chocolate and peanut butter together. So I'm going with Reese's.
Reese's moving on to the Final Four. So that's our first Final Four member here. We got Reese's or Reese's, whichever you prefer, moving on to the Final Four, which is we do not know where it is. It may be Indianapolis, maybe Dallas. Who knows? We'll see. But so good. So we got that region going. We'll do another region here in a little bit. But we'll take some break and take a little break, talk some Kentucky sports, talk some Kentucky things here. It is National Kentucky Day, after all, today. So, we got the Kentucky backgrounds going here. And so tell us in the comments, what's your favorite thing about Kentucky? Could be Kentucky basketball. It could be Kentucky football, even though the season hasn't been going as we've wanted it to recently. Or it could be one of these backgrounds. Could be Land Between the Legs. Could be the Arboretum. Let us know what your favorite Kentucky
Corey's
thing
house.
Is. Corey's house. Yeah. In the background there.
Yeah.
Whatever or whatever you think. But so Corey, you've been doing a lot of stuff recently. You're doing. I think this is your second year, right? Doing the whole thing with Tom Leach, right? So, I've been loving the little bit. I don't know if you've seen them, Caden, but there's these little videos. I think that the JMI does with the UK Sports Network, and it's like Tom Leach getting excited about whatever the biggest plays of the games are, and then it's like a video. So you see Tom, then you see Corey very calmly like writing stats down next to Tom.
Yeah,
but
I think you sent me one of those. Pretty good.
I love it. One of my favorite things to do is watch the highlights back after a game, and listen to Tom. Like whenever a big play happens, it's one thing to hear the ESPN commentators or something, but the first thing I wonder is, oh man, I wonder what Tom Leach sounded like on that play. And so I always go back and watch the highlights with the audio, of Tom screaming. But how is it to actually sit next to him in the booth and get the reaction sitting right next to him?
Well, I probably sound like a record right now. I've probably said this on every podcast I've been on in the last 2 years, but I still can't believe it, honestly. He started calling games in '97 when I was 12, and when I was 12, if you told me I would work with Tom Leach 25 years later, I just wouldn't have believed it. And he's the true pros pro. He's amazing. He does so much prep work. He's obviously amazing on the call, and it's just, I don't know, it's crazy that I'm sitting next to him, for real.
Yeah, no, it's awesome to see you up there and everything. I think I think it's great. Yeah, dream come true to be able to sit next to Tom Leach and everything. I
think it's cool that
he
does that, and then he comes on our show and talks about Reese's. So
about Reese's, exactly.
That's pretty awesome, honestly.
I know, it's like it's an eclectic lifestyle for sure. I feel like, I don't think I mentioned this last time you were on the show, but I got to sit next to, like when I was in middle school, Tom Leach let me like come observe him doing his morning radio show, which was pretty cool because at the time I was really into sports broadcasting and things, and was considering going into that for a career. So he was super nice to let me kind of come in and observe him and everything. So it's very cool that you actually get to do that as part of your job. So I think that's awesome. But
so when did playing the trumpet take over your passion?
That's a good question. I feel like really high school is when it took over for me. Honestly, my middle school didn't have a band. I was set on playing basketball for Kentucky for a long time. And, then I got into high school, still played basketball in high school, but I thought I had a little better shot of playing trumpet for Kentucky than playing basketball for Kentucky. So that's what I did, even though actually I had a stats class with Isaac Humphreys one time. And I was talking to him and I said, yeah, I want to play basketball for UK, but I just realized at some point that I was too short. And he goes, I mean, you're taller than Tyler Eulis. And I was like, well, that's true. But Tyler Eulis is Tyler Eulis, Caden. So, I'm a little I'm not quite in that same category. I don't feel like, but I
Yeah,
appreciated it nonetheless.
funny story. Coleman actually shadowed me because Corey, I don't know if you know, but I was a trumpet player at UK too, and I also got my master's in trumpet. But Coleman shadowed me. He's 2 years younger than me, but he shadowed me in a theory class and I think a lesson too. So
Hmm.
that's back whenever we barely. It was that the first time we met each other.
It was, yeah. First time I met you, you were about to take a test in your music theory class.
Yeah,
So yeah, you were
I
not.
probably wasn't too happy about it.
Yeah, you were in a stressful state for sure.
And look at you two guys now.
I
That's
know we're putting our degrees to use here.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's what. No, it is cool to get to still follow like two passions, in a way, and kind of get to do this for sure. So and get to have people like you on the show and stuff and talk to you about Kentucky. But so let's kind of move into Kentucky football here. Which we've had some ups and downs in the beginning of the year. Started off strong. I think we started off winning the 3 non-conference games. Everybody thought we would, right? Nobody really thought we were going to lose any of those games. So start off 3-0 as you expected. Go down and win at Vandy, a game everybody's like, okay, you have to go win to Vandy. If you lose at Vandy, the season is going to spiral down from there. Then you come home and you don't only beat Florida, but you absolutely destroy Florida. Everybody's on a big high, with high hopes going into the Georgia game. You go down to get absolutely destroyed by Georgia, which, not many people actually thought we were going to win, but to get absolutely destroyed down there was like not ideal, right? And then you come home, you start really strong against Missouri. Looks like we're going to blow them out, send them back home to Columbia. And then something happens, and we absolutely just seem to forget how to play football for the rest of the game from the second quarter on, and drop that game. And now you go into the bye week, and you're like, I don't really know what this team is. I don't really know what to expect on the back half of the season. Some people are wondering, are we going to win another game? Which I think is a little ridiculous. But, it's sort of a valid, concern from the fan base of how good is this team and what should we expect coming out of the bye week. Especially, historically, we haven't been good coming out of the bye week, especially playing Tennessee out of the bye week historically in the Stoops era. So, Corey, just kind of like what's your takeaway from the first half of the season, and can you give us any optimism going maybe statistically going into the second half of the year?
I mean, you hit it head on pretty much. First 5 games, we were rocking and rolling. I think we won all those games by at least 11 points. Very impressive against Florida. I feel like we kind of own them now.
Absolutely.
Then I went to Athens, unfortunately, for that game. That was embarrassing, pretty much, honestly. They were not disciplined, dumb penalties. It was bad. And then Missouri game, awesome start, which a few of the games prior to that, it was the opposite. We would start slow and kind of finish strong. This one was completely opposite. 14 points quickly, and then the air kind of came out of the place. So I think even the most optimistic fan probably would have said 6-1. So 5-2 is not that far off.
Crazy.
Yeah, but like you said, I think it's the way they played the last 2 games. I think it's more concerning than just the result. I looked.
Corey, what stats stand out to you? Those last 2 versus the ones before that, the games before that.
Flags. We had 14 for 122 yards this past week against Missouri, which is you're not going to win many games with 14 flags. And then I don't know about the number of flags, but the number of dumb penalties against Georgia was Burton obviously was bad. Walker's late hit bad. Walker's hit. Georgia was about to punt. They kept the drive alive and scored. I think Burton's was on a drive where we were getting down to like the 30 or so we probably would have scored there. So just the dumb penalties. It can't. I mean, mean, we already have to play close to perfect to beat a team like Georgia, and then when you add in the penalties, you get the result you got. So they obviously have to try and clean up the penalties. Hopefully, these guys can figure a way to just, I don't know, get their mind straight and right and focused for the rest of the season. I saw when we started exactly 5-2 through 7 games, we kind of gone in different directions. Unfortunately, in 2014, we started 5-2 and lost the last 5 games of the year, finished 5-7. But there's been a couple of times where we've been 5-2 and only lost once the rest of the way and got only 3 losses. I think we're going to be somewhere in between that. I'm leaning either 8-4 or 7-5. Honestly, the easiest game on the schedule on paper is probably at Mississippi State, and we haven't won in Starkville, I think, since 2008. I want to say, I think.
Yeah, I think.
So,
Well, it may even have been longer than that. It's been at least 10 years since we
so
lost there. So
I mean, even our easiest game on paper is not going to be easy. So, I don't think they're going to lose the rest of the games. That's a little outrageous, but it's going to be a struggle. I mean, as much as I hate to say it, I mean even Louisville's going to be tough playing at Louisville. Brahms got that program rolling. Minus the game this past week, it's Pittsburgh, but
yeah,
I'm hoping for 8-4, but my head probably says 7-5, probably.
I think that's probably the number that I'm going with too, and I think that's what you said, Caden, too. Which Caden actually had us losing to Missouri too. And I don't know if he said that
I'm
on this
sticking with
show.
no. I'm sticking. I think I'm sticking with 8-4.
Oh, you're sticking with 8-4?
I think
Okay.
so.
Well,
I think I'm gonna be the optimistic one now.
I think now last time I talked to Caden about Kentucky football, sort of off the air, was before the Missouri game. And Caden, I remember, if I remember correctly, you said they were going to lose to Missouri and beat Tennessee, right? So we lost to Missouri. So I'm going to trust you that we're going to beat Tennessee. So hopefully that happens. But I think a lot of sins could be forgiven if you go into Tennessee and you win. Right. So if we beat Tennessee, I feel like we can sort of get back on a good path here and we can really ride that momentum and maybe even, finish like 9-3 or something and go to a Citrus Bowl or something like that. So, I mean, what are your thoughts about that, Corey? Like, how realistic is it that we go in and we beat Tennessee and we kind of turn things around?
I don't feel right with that game because I feel like every year I want to say we'll win, and we've beaten them 3 times since I've been alive. So it's kind of hard to say we're going to win. I guess if there's any consolation, the game it's been played at Lexington, and it's going to be a night game. The last 2 night games, the fans have been awesome, been loud. That's why I hate for the fans because the weather was not, great last Saturday, and the fans were still around until the 4th quarter, being loud, and the team didn't, live up to their end. I mean, Tennessee this year is not the Tennessee of last year, but they're still. I mean, they still play fast. I think we've seen our defense can struggle at times against a fast pace. So hopefully these 2 weeks they kind of practice the fast pace. I don't know. I just, like I said, with my heart, I want to say us, but say with 3 wins my entire lifetime, it's hard for me to say that we'll win.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't think until we consistently beat Tennessee, I don't think I could pick us to beat Tennessee.
Clyde's down here saying 57-7.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
Surely, surely not, right?
It's not going to be like
that's a Georgia score.
Well, and Tennessee is not the same Tennessee that they were last year. I mean, they don't have the same quarterback. They just don't have the same offensive weapons. They had that Hyatt guy, right? I think was his name. That was crazy last year. So I just don't think that they are going to put up that many points on us. And I can't imagine that Brad White's defense would play bad 3 games in a row. But let's talk about sort of the pace of play thing for a little bit. A lot of people are wondering like why Kentucky isn't playing faster. And even just a little bit faster. Like we're last in the country right now in plays per game,
Yep.
which is 3 plays less than even Army, who plays really slow, right? Just by the nature of, what kind of team they are. And like, we don't even run that kind of offense. Like, we run like a pro style offense that, we could play faster, and we don't. And I just think that's surprising to me and a lot of other people. Do you agree with that, Corey?
It's definitely a head scratcher. You think with a Cohen coming back, we can't be like it was in 2021. I think it comes down to three things. I saw we take almost 30 seconds per play when we're on offense, which is pretty slow. And then third down on offense, we're not converting as many as we should. And on defense, our third down defense is it's bad. So obviously, if we can't get our own third downs and they keep getting their third downs, obviously we're not on the field as much as we can be or should. So that obviously helps with the plays being so low. But I feel like if we can improve on third down, I mean, obviously the plays per game will go up. And maybe during this bye week, they might do some tweaks, like Cal would say, and maybe I don't know, change the play calling somehow, some way that it'll be a little faster. I heard that people say that Leary played better when he was playing faster.
He's playing fast, yeah.
So I'm hoping, like I said, hoping Liam can fix a few things this off week to see if maybe they can make it faster. Hopefully,
yeah.
Corey, looking ahead to that, just because I'm curious, like, is Alabama good or not this year?
I don't. I mean, they got worked by Texas at home, but I mean, Texas is pretty good this year. I don't know the teams that they should blow out, and like Arkansas, they were blowing them out, then they kind of let them back in. Their offense is not nearly as consistent as it has been the last few years, because I mean they had Tua and Hurts and Mac Jones. This new guy is not bad per se, but he's not to the level of those three. I think they're pretty good at every once in a while getting a pretty big play on offense, but like I said, just being consistent, they're not quite there yet. And their defense is, I mean, it's okay. It's not a typical Saban defense. So, I mean, for Bama, they're pretty average, but pretty
you
average.
See us beating them or Tennessee? Like, if the team that you feel like we can beat this year,
which one's more likely?
More likely, yeah.
Probably Tennessee, I would say, because we have beaten them recently. I mean, we've only beaten Bama twice ever, and only once in the last 100 years. So yeah,
yeah,
probably
that's not good.
Yeah, probably Tennessee at home.
I think our comment section agrees with you.
Yeah, I feel like the fan base is pretty down right now, but I mean, let's just assume that we do beat Tennessee, like, which I know is a big assumption, but let's just, for sake of argument, say we beat Tennessee. I mean, a lot of the fan base, obviously, like, in our comments right now, is pretty down on the team right now. Do you think that turns around pretty significantly if we were to go beat Tennessee out of the bye week?
I mean, I would sure hope so. I'm trying to think, is at Mississippi State after Tennessee?
It's the following week. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, we would need it because, like I said, on paper, Mississippi State's probably the worst team we'll face the rest of the year, but it's in Starkville. So if we lose both those and are 5-4 on a 4-game losing streak, we'll have a lot of fans, and unfortunately, we'll turn to basketball, and I don't want that, obviously. So, I mean, we need it badly because if we can get that, and if we can steal a win in Starkville, then we're 7-2, and then we're cooking. So,
yeah, and a lot of people are down on Leary right now. Receivers haven't helped him out a lot. We also are like one of the 3 or 5 teams that has dropped the most passes in college football. But I don't think, at least from what I've seen, you could tell me if I'm wrong about this, I don't think Leary's numbers are crazy different from Will Levis's numbers. well, the 2 years that he was here. So I mean, on paper, he's kind of comparable to what Levis did.
Yards, touchdowns, and picks, they're pretty close. The biggest gap by far is completion percentage. Larry in our conference games is completing less than 50% of his passes, which is flat out, and that's not what cut it. I mean, he's
Yeah.
I mean, in my opinion, he should be completing at least 65% of his passes, at least. And he's completing like 46%, 47%, something like that. So, like I said, drops have not helped, but he's had some throws where you kind of scratch your head. So I don't know if that's something that can be fixed in 2 weeks or not. But unfortunately, it's gonna have to be fixed if we're gonna have any chance of having a great season.
Yeah, and these next 2 games are huge. Tennessee, Mississippi State, like they're both winnable.
Yes.
For sure. But if you lose both of them, coming back home and playing Alabama, like I don't think that's that's not the game that you want to have coming off of those 2 games, and then you go to South Carolina, which
Yes.
if you were to lose all those games, then you would be on a 5-game losing streak going on the road. That's not ideal, and that's when you can get on that slippery slope of like possibly not winning another game, right? So I mean this next game is a huge game. And I think we would feel a lot differently if we did beat Missouri. We would write off that Georgia game as like, well, it's Georgia, and as Caden says, Georgia's Georgia. And then we'd be 6-1, which is almost as good as you could ask for. So
That might be the wisest thing I've ever said on this show,
yeah,
which isn't hard to be the wisest
that
thing that I've said.
yeah,
But
well, right. But Georgia is Georgia, and hopefully we can turn it around and beat Tennessee out of the bye week. But now I think it might be time to do another region candy bracket here. So let's give that a go.
That's not.
I had the football schedule up here, so I could remind myself. But
Yeah.
back to the which
the
region you
important
want to do
stuff.
now? Yeah,
Let's do the
serious,
West.
the serious stuff. The West.
Yeah, let's do the West.
So
and
so
what's that, Corey?
where's the West regional finals being played at?
I'd probably have to say Boise, Idaho, right? Remember that one year we played in Boise, out in the West?
Who did we play?
I don't even know.
We played Davidson because they had Kellen
That's right.
Grady, and I think
that's right.
I think our 3-point streak ended in Boise. I think I could be wrong.
I think you could be right about that. That's the game where Hayden Hooper did the whole flex thing and they made T-shirts. Yeah.
Right.
Everybody knows Hayden. See, even Corey knows Hayden. We know Hayden because of band. But yeah.
I know Hayden because it rhymes with Caden.
That's right. It does.
Yeah.
Hey, we got our Coleman, Caden, Corey thing.
Corey's all about the names. He was about the last name, first name last time, and now he's about rhyming schemes. So
that's right. That's right. Well, this first one's a pretty easy matchup for me. The M&Ms and Smarties, and I think Smarties are probably the worst candy ever. And so I'd probably have to go M&Ms. Moving on, it's not much of competition here for me.
I disagree with you that Smarties is the worst ever because you also have a different candy on here that I would say is the worst ever that we haven't gotten to yet. But I'm going with M&Ms.
Okay, I'm interested to hear what you think the worst candy is. Because
there's one on here that's hands down just terrible.
I'm intrigued for sure.
Corey, what do you think? M&Ms or Smarties?
Chocolate's always good. Smarties make me smart, which is awesome. That's awesome. I'll lean chocolate. M&Ms.
Moving on. Jolly Ranchers and Hershey's. This is one of those chocolate versus sugar matchups. I actually don't think Hershey's chocolate is that good. Actually, I feel like there's much better chocolate brands out there. I just think Hershey's chocolate kind of tastes like plastic. And Jolly Ranchers,
the one with almonds in it.
Well, I mean, I couldn't do
you can't
that.
Eat it. You can't.
So
eat
I mean, I wouldn't know. So I can't really speak on that. But I feel like Jolly Ranchers are always there when you need them, right? You got the blue raspberry ones, the road trips. They hit pretty good. And Halloween, any time of year, I feel like Jolly Ranchers are just an all around good candy. So I'd probably have to go them. Moving on.
I'm still sticking with with chocolate, so Hershey's.
Ooh.
Coleman isn't exactly nuts about the Hershey's with almonds, so
Yeah, I'm not. No.
Yeah. Jolly Ranchers are kind of tough on the teeth. They kind of, I don't know. And
That's true.
once again, it's kind of hard to beat chocolate, so I will go Hershey's.
Hershey's. Moving on. Upsetting Jolly Ranchers. Yeah, slide up, slide edge. There's buzzer beater there. Now we got two chocolates. We got a 3-6 matchup here. They hit pretty good. That is what I said.
It's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, I love when
that one made the banner.
Yep, I love when Caden puts my quotes up in the banner. Yeah, that's always good. Snickers and Whoppers. Whoppers are definitely one of my favorite Halloween candies. I'm not sure why I put them at a 6 seed. I'd probably have to put them higher if I redid this bracket. So I'd go. You got the malted center and everything. It's just
are those like the chocolate awesome. Balls with the malted center?
That is what I just said. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So I'd have to go. I'd have to go Whoppers. Yes.
I'm going Snickers with this one.
All right.
Full disclosure, I don't eat either of these. I like Burger King Whoppers. I don't know about chocolate Whoppers. It's a toss up. I'll go with Whoppers only because I like Burger King Whoppers.
There we go. The upset 6 seed. Moving on. I feel like that's one of those games it's like a 3-6 matchup is like Villanova versus like Providence or something. And Providence, just got lucky and moved on to the Sweet 16 kind of thing. Milk Duds and Nerds. I like Nerds. I don't have anything against Nerds, but you have to eat a lot of them. There's no real good way to eat them. You could pour them out in your hand and then put them up, or you could eat them out of the box. But like, I don't know, Milk Duds, chocolate and caramel, just a good combination. That's a big one for me. They're chewy, like they last a while. I like Milk Duds. That's one of my go-to candies year round as well.
Yeah, I don't know the gummy stuff, and then like the stuff like Nerds. I like the harder candy. Like it's okay, but it doesn't really do much for me. So that's why I usually just end up going with chocolate over. It's more filling and it's not straight sugar, So
yep.
I'm going Milk Duds on this one.
Is Coleman drinking during the show? Is that against the rules?
I am. Oh, no, that's not against the rules. We're not official or anything.
That's messing with you.
I'm drinking coffee.
Well, I don't think Coleman's drinking coffee.
I'm not right now. No.
Yeah.
It's apple juice.
Apple juice.
Apple juice.
Yeah. Yep.
At 6 p.m.
Fall, getting the apple cider kind of thing going on.
Right. Milk Duds are a total dud to me, and I'm one of the biggest nerds I know. So I'm going Nerds.
Man, well, I guess it doesn't matter because Milk Duds moving on, but I'm glad you like Nerds. Yeah, Milk Duds moving on despite the valiant effort at the end.
Right, he tried to sway us.
He did. They had us in the first half, not gonna lie. M&M's and Hershey's. I didn't vote Hershey's to move on in the first place, so M&M's. You get the best of both worlds. You get a little sugar candy coating and chocolate. So how could you not like that? M&M's moving on.
Now, are we talking regular M&Ms, or are we talking M&Ms with peanuts in the middle? I know you can't eat those, but
yeah,
I guess they both count, right?
Yeah, they both count. I think they're both in the same category of M&Ms.
Yeah, I'll go M&Ms with this as well. So, once again, Corey, it doesn't really matter what you say, but what's your take on this one?
It's a triple decker here.
M&Ms melt in your mouth and not in your hand, so I'm gonna go with
a good
M&Ms.
point.
Yeah,
that is a good point.
Yeah. So the 1 seed makes it to the Elite 8 again.
Yep. Whoppers and Milk Duds. So that again, this could be a championship matchup for me. I really only eat Whoppers at like around Halloween though, and I eat Milk Duds like any time of the year. Like go to the movie, like whatever. Milk Duds are a go-to. So I'd go Milk Duds on this one.
So Whoppers and milk. I think whenever we were going through the last round, I was like getting Milk Duds and Whoppers mixed up, but I think I know what the difference is now. Like Whoppers, you can actually like crunch on, and Milk
Yeah,
Duds
they're
literally just melt.
Well, Milk Duds are very chewy, and Whoppers are very
Oh,
crunchy.
they're very chewy. Okay,
So it depends on if you're more of a chewy or crunchy kind of guy.
I think I'm a crunchy kind of guy. I think I'm going with Whoppers,
All right, the upset.
not Burger King Whopper.
And Corey has to decide it here.
It's a problem if your Burger King Whopper's crunchy.
Yeah. Once again, don't eat either of these, but like I said, I'll go with Burger King Whoppers. Why not?
Ooh, Whoppers with the big upset of Milk Duds moving on to the next round. Yeah, I feel like I'm glad Corey gets to decide a lot of these because I feel like he has all the stats to like back it up. So I feel confident in the decisions for sure.
I feel like Coleman just said that he trusts Corey more than me.
I think he did. Yeah.
Well, I guess I kind of did. So I can't deny that I did say
Just
that.
Which is some because I literally just said that I don't eat either Whoppers or a Milk Duds. But hey, that's all right.
M&Ms and Whoppers to go to the Final Four to face Reese's. I think Whoppers are fixing to have them a good day. I think Whoppers are crunchy and they're they got the Burger King relation there too, and I think they're going to beat M&Ms.
I think this is a lot closer than what it looks on paper, 1 versus 6. But with that being said, I don't know. I think the one seed still goes on and makes the Final Four. So I'm going with M&Ms.
I used the Burger King thing up until now. I actually do eat M&Ms. They're good. So 1 seed it is.
M&M's moving on. Chalk so far in the Final Four. 1 seed versus 1 seed. So the committee probably did
rigged?
a better job. Yeah. Well,
rig the candy bracket.
We'll do. We'll probably do the South region next. But until then, let's talk some Kentucky basketball. The preseason rankings came out. Speaking of 16 and Sweet 16, Kentucky 16th in the preseason rankings here, which a lot of people think they're over or they're underseeded actually, right? And people are kind of mad at that ranking. I'm curious what you guys think. I've already talked to Caden a little bit about this. I still want him to say his stance, but Corey, how do you feel about that 16 seed ranking after seeing them in Canada and everything?
I agree. I think it's a little low. I don't know how low. It's the lowest preseason ranking under Cal, which is kind of amazing because we've had some pretty bad teams.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't realize that at first. Yeah, we started like in the top 10 and not made the tournament.
Is it really our lowest preseason ranking with him ever?
With Cal, yes.
There wasn't a year we were unranked with him.
Preseason, no.
At preseason, yeah, that's pretty amazing.
That is amazing.
I think the media is kind of hesitant to rank us high based on what's happened the last 2 years, which I guess I kind of get. But from what I saw in Canada, if Cal plays that way during the season, which is a big if, because we've seen Cal kind of revert to his old ways a lot of times. But if he plays like that way with Trey playing the 5, and he's around the 3-point line, I think 16's way too low, honestly. Guess it depends on when we get the big guys back and when and if we do, how Cal uses them. I hope he doesn't play 2 of the big guys at the same time. But like I said, he's done it before, so he'll probably do it again. But I think we should take full advantage of like Trey playing the 5 while those guys are out and see what we can do.
Well, we might not have 2 big guys to play, honestly, if we're not careful. So, I know Big Z, and Josh says in the comments here, what's up with the Big C? Is he playing or what? I I mean, I expect him to play. The hard part was him getting into university and everything. And although I haven't heard anything officially, I don't know if you have, Corey, but I haven't heard anything officially on the NCAA ruling him eligible or anything. But I haven't heard that that's going to be a problem. So I would imagine that he'll play. I know he's going to play in the blue white game this weekend on Saturday. So I'm sure that's going to be a thing. But then, Ugana and Bradshaw are still sort of up in the air as far as injuries. We heard sort of during the pro day, Cal sort of hinted at they're going to be out like the first 5 weeks of the season. Probably won't have them against Kansas or anything. But there's a lot of, there's been a lot of weird stuff go on with injuries with Kentucky basketball in the past few years. So do you feel confident that both of those guys are going to play, or, what's kind of your gut feeling on that?
Oh boy. I guess I'm probably feeling more confident about Ugana playing. The Bradshaw one, I don't know. I hope it doesn't go down the path of like Shaden Sharp.
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong on that.
Yeah, me too. And Caden and I kind of talked about that the other day over the phone. Like, we just get Shaden Sharp vibes from the Aaron Bradshaw situation. Yeah, I hope I'm wrong too, but it certainly feels like that. Like, we've been here before, we've seen this movie before, kind of thing. So,
yep, pretty much.
Yeah, I started looking into like his injury and stuff. Or by the way, Scott Holmes says I don't blame the ranking given the last 2 years, but still biased against GK. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say everything's biased against GK, but sometimes it does seem like it. But I don't blame the ranking at all. I think it probably is a good spot considering what Corey said about big men not playing and not knowing when they're going to play again. But yeah, I was looking at the injury with Aaron Bradshaw, and he got surgery, I think, in the beginning of June. I think
you're
the beginning
right.
of June is what I saw.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and I know some of them more serious than others. So who knows what actually the extent of the injury? But I'm so hesitant to even say we're going to have big men, those two big guys, for the remainder of 2023. So I could definitely see it being one of those things where we maybe get them back towards the end of the year before tourney time. But yeah, I don't know. I hope it all rides on whether they come back or not, to mimic kind of what Corey's saying.
So I saw Justin Edwards made first team preseason All SEC, and Antonio Reeves made second team. But my question is, what does Antonio Reeves have to do to make first team All SEC? I mean, the dude's like an insane scorer. We saw him at the 3-point contest, right? Which I know it's not like a huge deal in terms of 3-point contest. The Big Blue Madness isn't a big deal in terms of preseason All SEC, but the dude can shoot. He was going off at the end of last season. I know the last game, against Kansas State, he kind of threw up a clunker, but like, I guess scoring just isn't important in basketball anymore. That's what I feel like sometimes, like, I still feel like he's our best player. I don't know about you, Kate. I don't know if you feel like DJ Wagner or Justin Edwards are going to surpass him this year, but I feel like scoring for me, like ball and hoop, equals good. So I still feel like Reeves is one of our best players.
Reeves is our best scorer, but I think our best overall all around player is probably Justin Edwards from what I've seen. And I like the idea of us relying heavily on our guards this year. Like Corey was saying, having what's his name, Trey Mitchell start at 5,
Mitchell, yeah.
and having, if we could have 3 guards in starting, Reeves and Wagner and I'm blanking. Rob Dillingham.
Yep.
Oh, Dillingham,
like those 3 starting guard, I think would be a big deal.
It would be. Let's move on. Let's do this South region real quick, and then we might take a couple calls before we finish out the bracket and the episode here.
One thing, can we have your quote, ball and hoop equals good as a
banner
quote?
I can do that.
Yeah, I think that's another good one. What was my other one that I said earlier? Ball and hoop equals good, and there was another one. They hit pretty good. Well, hopefully Kentucky shooters hit pretty good this year too. We can bring that one back out later.
So full disclosure again, I believe tamales is misspelled.
we're misspelling everything.
I think it's
Hey,
TA.
that one came from Coleman's. I blame Coleman for that one.
I did this at 11 o'clock last night.
I'm blaming everyone but myself.
Rule number 76: no excuses. Play like a champion.
That's right.
76 from who?
Rule number 76. Yeah.
Okay. Is that like the rule of 71?
No, it's a line from a film.
Okay. See, again, you're a film expert. I don't know a lot about any films, especially Halloween films.
Have you seen Wedding Crashers?
I have not. Caden, have you seen that one?
Well,
if I have, it's been a while.
It's a line from that film.
Okay. I'll have to watch that. Josh Hart says I've had too much apple juice. Yeah, that's what it was. I had too much apple juice, and that's why I misspelled hot tamales. And this first round, I mean, this is going to be a beatdown. It's Nerd Gummy Clusters against Caden didn't put the full name of the candy as I listed on my handwritten bracket here.
I thought you could explain.
Yes, I can explain. It's those strawberry candies at your grandma's house. So, which you know what I'm talking. Yeah, I mean, Caden knows, but you know what I'm talking about, Corey. Those strawberry candy. Which where do those like? I've never once seen those in a store or anything. Yep. The only place I've ever seen them are at my grandma's house or some other grandma's house. So, again, don't know where they come from, but doesn't really matter because Nerds Gummy Clusters might go all the way to the championship. You know, that's one of the best candies of all time. So that's going to be an easy move to the Sweet 16 for me.
You're talking about these? Oh, it's not showing. I'll have to get that pulled up.
Hey, you'll get that pulled up soon. Yeah. The
grandma Nerds Gummies.
Oh, Nerds Gummies for me. Yeah.
I think for the first time I'm picking gummies on this one as well, just because, I mean, yeah, when I think of what candy do I want to eat today, I don't think of grandma strawberries. So no, I'm going Nerds Gummies.
Yep.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, not a competition. Nerds Gummy Clusters. Moving on. Hot Tamales and Twizzlers / Butterfinger. So I guess Twizzlers and Butterfinger is a first 4 game here. We got to choose between the two. If I do, I'm probably going Twizzlers for that one. Caden, are you trying to get this grandma strawberry picture pulled up here?
Yeah, I'm sharing the whole screen so I can get it.
Well, this is very important just so that everybody knows. Yes. That's what they are. I don't know where they're
you
from.
See that? You immediately think, oh, grandma's.
What have you all ever eaten one of those? Is my other question.
Yes. I feel like I know what it tastes like just by looking at it.
There's one bag being shown currently that in the year 2023 we probably can't show right now. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we probably don't want to show that. Yeah.
Take this.
Yeah, I'd assume they changed the name of that one.
Well, let's hope so.
Yes.
I have to make this podcast explicit now since I pulled that.
Let's hope
you might get a call. We'll see.
Yeah.
Cream Savers.
We have to. Yeah, Cream Savers is
subject, please. Yes, Cream Savers. Thank you.
Yes, Cream Savers, good. So next, we've got Hot Tamales, Twizzlers / Butterfinger, right? So I would have to go Twizzlers on this one, honestly. I mean, they're not my favorite candy in the world, but they're a standard. I feel like it's hard to pick against Twizzlers for me, so I'll go with that.
So that's for the playing game.
That's for the playing game.
All right, here's my rant.
Uh-oh.
When I think of Twizzler, like this might be the worst candy on the face of the planet. It reminds me of the candy form of leather. Doesn't have much taste. It's pretty chewy, and it's definitely not the first thing I think of whenever I think of a Halloween candy that I want to eat. So I'm going with Butterfingers hands down over Twizzlers. I don't even like gummies that much in the first place, especially Twizzlers.
Yes, Twizzlers taste like cardboard, and nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger as Coleman drinks his apple juice again. I'm going Butterfinger.
So Butterfinger moves on. Between the two, hot tamales and Butterfinger, I'm gonna go hot tamales. Even though, oh, Caden's even being fancy here, and he's taking Twizzlers off.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would probably go hot tamales here.
I'm going Butterfingers again. I now think Butterfingers is severely underseated, so I'm going Butterfingers.
I can't go with a candy that is misspelled. I like.
How do you
I like.
spell tamales?
I think it's TAMA. I could be wrong. But I
Oh,
think it's
okay, you're probably right.
I like spicy food. Don't really care for spicy candy.
That's fair.
And Butterfingers. I mean, it's crispity, crunchy, peanut buttery, all good stuff.
Yep.
Homer Simpson, or not Homer. Bart Simpson loves them, so gotta go with.
He does.
So Butterfingers.
Yep.
Is taking over the bracket. Okay.
Yeah, that's fun. This next matchup, it really depends on if you're a candy corn person or not. Candy corn versus Dum Dums. And I love don't get me wrong, I love Dum Dums. When I used to get my hair cut as a kid, my barber had a basket of Dum Dums sitting there. And I always got the butterscotch ones, but I am a candy corn fan. I know a lot of people hate it, but I like candy corn, so I'll probably pick that one to move on.
Before I say my take, we have a few comments here, Coleman. Chris Casey has a good feeling about this team. And
Well,
I think
good.
the right pieces, or the right people playing, I think I do too. I would guess Final Four, but Clyde says Jordan Burks can play big as well.
Yeah.
He's a guard, right? He's a tall guard, I think. So,
Yeah.
But going back to the bracket, Roxanne Holmes likes Butterfingers as well, and I think I agree. I think Butterfingers might be taking over this bracket. Sorry, Coleman.
Okay.
But anyways, candy corn, Dum Dums. I think I'm gonna go with candy corn on this one. I think Dum Dums just don't do much for me.
That's fair. Corey, you got any thoughts?
This is a hot take. I'm sure I might lose some friends with this. Candy corn is pure and total trash. I'm sorry, it's awful.
That's all right.
Dum Dums. It's old school type sucker that we loved to eat as a kid. Candy corn is candy trash to me. So, yep.
Well, candy corn's still moving on, right, Caden?
Yeah, even though our comment section,
despite
our comment section doesn't like it either. But
well, don't worry, guys. I don't think it'll get very far. Tootsie Rolls and Now and Laters. I don't think Now and Laters are good now or later, so I'd go Tootsie Rolls.
I'm going Tootsie Rolls easy.
In a blowout.
2 versus 7 might as well be 2 versus 30 seed.
Now and Laters are good, but once again, more often than not, it's hard to beat chocolate. So, Tootsie
Rolls in a blowout. So, Nerds Gummies and Butterfingers. For me, I didn't like Butterfingers from the start. I would go Nerds Gummies on this one.
I'm going Butterfingers again because it's chocolate.
Damn.
I tend to lean towards chocolate, but as I'm sure a lot of people in the state recently, Matt Jones got us on Nerds Gummies, and they are pretty amazing. So I'm gonna go gummies.
Yes, I'm on the Matt Jones hype train when it comes to Nerds Gummy Clusters. And Christina in the comments here says, "I'm still your friend, Corey," even though she likes, even though you don't like candy corn. So
that's fun.
So that's good. Yes,
so
we
Nerds
still
Gummies moves on.
Okay, Nerds Gummies moves on to the Elite Eight, and then we have Candy Corn and Tootsie Rolls, and I think that this is an absolute blowout. I mean, I think Tootsie Rolls is on a roll here and blows out Candy Corn. Second blowout in a row for me.
Yeah, I'll have to go with Tootsie Rolls this time as well.
I think y'all know my
Candy
Yeah,
trash.
you don't even.
Yeah.
We didn't even need to ask. We didn't
No.
really need to ask Corey. Okay, so, but this is a tough matchup: Nerds, Gummy Clusters, and Tootsie Rolls. Again, depend. I feel like Tootsie Rolls, you get a little bit of the gummy and a little bit of the chocolate, and so it's tough. But as of as of recently, I feel like I'm on the Nerds Gummies hype train. Especially the past year. So I might have to go Nerds Gummies, but it's close. It's going to be a game in the fourth quarter for me.
This is one of those regions that Kentucky never ends up in because
Yes.
the region is not good.
Yep.
So
Well, the Midwest is really not good. And Christina commented on my Facebook post earlier and said that she could do without the entire Midwest region of this bracket. And I would
I
probably
think I
tend
can
to
do without
agree
the
with that.
South. I mean, I would have picked Butterfingers to get past the Sweet 16, but I guess I got to go with Tootsie Rolls now. I mean, I don't really like my selection, but
Leaving
you
it up to
gotta
Corey.
you gotta deal with what you have. So
Leaving it up to Corey and the stats once again.
So, where is the South Regional Final being played? Is that like Atlanta or something, maybe, or what?
Well,
Baton
let's do
Rouge.
yeah,
Baton
it could be
Rouge?
Baton Rouge. Could be I'm gonna go with let's go Louisville, actually. Let's go your hometown there. It's being played in the Louisville Regional at the Center.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I definitely like Tootsie Rolls more as a kid, but like I said, as of late, I can't get enough of the Nerds gummies myself.
All right. Well, what's all the hype on the Nerds gummies? Am I missing something?
Hey,
It's,
Christine.
I don't know,
Chris,
it's hard to explain, but it's just, I don't know, it's good. I don't know.
Christina says I'm Team Caden chocolate all day.
Well, thank you, Christina. These people are
That's
crazy.
that's why she doesn't like the Midwest region. Is because there's actually, and I didn't try to do this on purpose, but there's actually no
Oh my
chocolate
gosh.
at
We can get
all.
rid of this entire right side of the bracket as far as I'm concerned.
This
All we
bracket's,
really need is Reese's. So
this
Yeah.
bracket's been
did I spoil my pick just then?
this bracket's been pretty chalk so far. So we'll see.
It has been pretty chalk so far. I guess that means the committee did a good job putting it together. Let's go ahead and breeze through this Midwest region here, and just get to our final four here. So, Mike and Ike's and Lifesavers. Mike and Ike's is a slate. I mean, obviously, I put it as a 1 seed. I don't even know how Lifesavers really made this bracket. I don't even think it's a Halloween candy. They got lucky. They won their conference tournament. That's how they got in. So I'm going to go Mike and Ike's on this one.
They got lucky, like St. Peter's getting in.
Yeah, like St. Peter. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with Mike and Ike's. Lifesavers, once again, didn't really do much for me. Just like every other 8 seed on this bracket.
My father was named Michael or Mike, and I have a brother named Michael or Mike. But
He's always got the stats.
He
He can
does.
say anything, and he's got a stat about it.
I told you. Yeah.
I don't
We
care.
need to have a segment where we say just some random thing to Corey, and he just says a random stat he knows about it. But
Yeah.
sorry, Corey.
I don't know if my dad's name is Stat, but I don't like I don't really care for Mike and Ike's, and I'm all for anything that saves lives. So I would go with that, but I know it doesn't matter. So
It doesn't matter. So we're going
Doesn't
Mike
matter.
and
That's a good thought.
Mike and Ike are moving on. Sweet Tarts versus Almond Joy. Oh, it's Sweet Tarts. Slam dunk for me. I love Sweet Tarts.
Yeah, it's Almond Joy for me. Slam dunk.
It's a playing game, by the way.
Yeah, playing game.
I thought you couldn't do nuts, Coleman.
Yeah, I said Sweet Tart.
Yeah, I said
dude.
Almond Joy.
Caden said Almond Joy. I said Sweet Tart for that reason. Yes.
I don't have an allergy per se, but I'm just not a nut guy, so I'm going sweet tarts as well.
Yeah, you're not nuts about. Yeah, that's
okay.
okay.
That's correct.
Yeah, sweet tarts and Swedish fish. Swedish fish are really good, but they're only the cherry flavor. They're only the red ones. And I think Sweet Tart gives you a little bit more flavor variety, so I'd probably have to give Sweet Tarts the edge. That's why they're the 4 seed. So move them on to the Sweet 16.
I'd pick Almond Joy over both of these, but I'll have to go with Sweet Tarts.
The only good thing out of Sweden is probably their ice hockey. So I'm going with, Sweet Tarts.
All right, Sweet Tarts. Moving on to the Sweet 16. So, Sour Patch Straws, or I guess they're Sour Punch Straws, is technically what they are.
Yeah, they're yeah.
So another misspelling in our bracket, but that's okay. Versus Ring Pop. I don't even really know. I think the whole Ring Pop thing is stupid. Putting it on your finger, and yeah, I just yeah. And I don't really, Caden and I don't know anything about rings really. Anyway, so I'd go Sour Punch Straws.
Coleman, I bet you wear a ring pop every single day. I think you're just covering up right now.
I do not. You can see both my hands here. Don't have any rings on it. Just got apple juice over here. That's all.
I'm also gonna have to go with sour. So what did I mess up? What do I have to change? Sour what straws?
Sour
punch.
There's sour
punch straws. Okay.
Sour punch
Patch.
straws. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Sour punch straws.
I'll go with sour punch straws.
I'm the same. I tend to like some sour candies, and I probably haven't had a ring pop since the Clinton administration. So I'm gonna go with sour sauce.
Nice. Starburst and another team that won its conference tournament, and that's the only reason it's in the bracket. Fun Dip, which is probably the worst candy of all time. It's just you take a stick made out of sugar and you dip it in more sugar, and then you lick it. And I just don't think that that's a good thing. And I would go with Starburst.
Yeah, Starburst is kind of goated as far as gummies are concerned. And you're right about Fun Dip. That's pretty much a worthless candy in my book. So I'm going Starburst.
Christina says we don't like Sour Punch straws, so I wouldn't expect Caden to spell it right.
Well, thanks, Christina. I feel like Christina has my back tonight.
She does.
Unlike Coleman.
I don't.
Unlike
not
my co-host.
Yep, that's right. Not tonight. Yep.
Once again, I probably haven't had Fun Dips in a long time, and Starburst is by far my favorite non-chocolate candy. So
yep.
There you go. I would agree. Well, and that with that logic, it might win the Midwest. So Mike and Ike's and Sweet Tart. Mike and Ike's. No questions.
I'm gonna say I don't really care for either one, so I'm gonna say Sweet Tarts to have Corey decide.
Like I said, I love my father, God rest his soul, and my brother, but not too keen on Mike and Ike's. So I'll go with the upset with Caden.
All right.
Sweet Tarts.
They're just gonna lose in the next round, but
yep, that's right.
Because I'm assuming yeah, or any team we play for that matter.
Yep.
Any team that beats us.
Sour Punch straws and Starburst. Starburst for me. It's my favorite. One of my favorite non-chocolate candies. As we
all already said that, so I think Starburst moves on.
Okay, now moving on. Sweet Tarts and Starburst. Again, it's a blowout for me. Starburst, no question.
Easy. Corey?
Yes, and the pink Starburst is by far the
yes.
Specifically, Starburst. What is that? Is that strawberry? Is that right?
That's correct.
No, I thought red was strawberry.
I think
red cherry.
Yeah,
red
is,
yeah, red is cherry and pink is strawberry. I feel like the strawberry variety of Starburst is much better than Grandma's strawberries.
Correct.
For sure. There's no doubt. Well, Caden, what do you think? You think we could take a couple very quick calls and then finish out this thing? Call it a night?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool. So give us a shout if you'd like. We'll take a couple quick calls here. 502-234-1504 is the number. Tell us your thoughts on what you think Kentucky football is going to finish. And then Your thoughts on Kentucky basketball? You think 16 is too high or too low? And maybe even some candy thoughts. Whatever you want. Give us a shout here, and yeah, love to hear from you. This is going to be, well, I'm glad 1-2 seed got into the Final Four. I'm glad it's not just total chalk, because that would have been pretty boring. But Reese's, M&M's, Nerd Gummies, and then Starburst. So with the upset of Mike and Ike's in the Midwest, but as we've established, the Midwest region wasn't that tough of a bracket, really. Honestly, Christina could have done without any of the teams in the Midwest region. So, are we getting any calls over there, Caden?
No calls yet.
Okay, well maybe we can think about maybe we can do, if one comes in, we'll take it. But let's go ahead and start deliberating this Final Four here. Yeah, we got to deliberate. So we've got Reese's and M&M's. Let's do that one first. The 2-1 seeds. I'm going to throw my peanut allergy out for sake of argument on this one. I have made my own Reese's before with peanut butter, alternatives. And so I can kind of get the idea of what a Reese's would be like. And that's a really good combo. And the package is orange. Okay, well, do y'all be thinking about that then? While be thinking about Reese's while we take this call. We're not like KSR. We can't put people on hold.
You're on with Talkin Kentucky. Who's this?
This is Josh. How you doing?
Hey, Josh. Oh, we're just over here talking about candy.
Oh, I know it's been a pretty good show for real. I mean, that's what separates your all's show from others, because you do things outside. You do things outside the box.
It's also a good show when we have Corey Price on. So
that's true too. Yeah, Corey's very he's pretty quiet though.
Say he's quiet. I'm quiet too.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. No, he's quieter than you. That's really odd.
I am very odd, so it's fine. No worries.
It's all good, man. You're still good, dude. You're very knowledgeable in what you're doing with the sports shows and stuff like that. So it's all good. Everybody needs quiet time sometimes.
What do you have for us, Josh?
Yeah, I've seen some stuff about the Big Z not being eligible until SEC play. So I don't know if that's true.
Oh man,
I'm sure that's just rumors. I mean, I definitely haven't heard anything definitive about. I haven't even heard that at all. So that's telling me it's probably a rumor.
One of the Kentucky web pages I follow, and some of them they just put in misinformation up, and maybe that's all it is. It's just just talk. And that would be crazy if the NCAA held him out until SEC play.
That would be crazy, and that would also be a problem, because then we wouldn't really have any big men. So that would be pretty catastrophic, I would think. So let's just hope that that's not true.
Yeah, I saw he passed all the academic stuff fine, and now it's just the normal procedures of him getting here. That's just what KSR said. I haven't seen anything since a few days ago. So, but yeah, let's hope that's not true.
Yeah, because we really need him, because we got a lot of uncertainty right now with the basketball team. I mean, Clyde shared something in the chat, and part of that Knox kid that wants to think about coming to Kentucky. But one of his options is also go to the G League. I don't see how that's even an option. I don't see how they're allowed to do that. You can go to the G League for a year instead of going to college. I mean, the NBA is just, they're dirty, straight up. I don't like the NBA, never has since like Jordan. So, I mean, it's got worse and worse and worse, and it's just, all it is don't go to college, come play for the G League, and I just think that's wrong.
Yeah, with the introduction of NIL and everything else, it seems like there's a large gray area. But Josh, we're trying to make these calls quick so we can finish up our intense Final Four we got going on over here. But is there anything else you want to say to us before we let you go?
Just one last thing. Good night, God bless, and go kick Tennessee's ass next week.
Yeah.
As Kaywood Lifford would say.
I like that.
As Kaywood would say. Yep.
Have a good one, Josh.
All right, good night, guys.
dropped the mic there.
Let's do. He did drop the mic. Reese's and M&M's. Here, let's get back to that deliberation. I thought a lot about it during Josh's call, and I think that M&M's would probably get the edge here because I think you got the best of both worlds. You got the candy kind of coating, and you got chocolate. So I don't see how you could argue with that. So I think M&M's probably moves on for me.
Reese's is the best candy / chocolate in the entire world, and that is never going to change. It's kind of like Michael Jordan's the best basketball player ever, and it's never going to change. So, same thing with Reese's. So I'm picking Reese's.
Yeah, Reese's is my favorite chocolate candy by far. So, Reese's.
What do you think about that, Coleman?
Yeah,
I think y'all are wrong, but it's all right. Reese's moves to the championship, and well, I'll ask you, Corey, where's this championship being played?
It's a good one. Let's go New Orleans, the site of our last title.
There we go. I like that. I like that logic there. Now we've got sort of the best of both worlds in terms of chocolate-free candies of Nerds Gummy Clusters and Starburst. Starburst, you just got the chewy. Nerds Gummy Clusters, you got a little bit crunchy in there. So I think that kind of puts it over the top for me. But like you don't have the flavor variety that you have in Starburst. So it's tough, but they do make the very berry nerd clusters now. We have the rainbow ones, and the very berry ones are hard to find, but they're probably even better than the rainbow ones. So I'd probably have to go Nerds Gummy Clusters. Yeah, I think that I give that the edge. It's a hard decision, Caden.
Yeah, that was a very detailed breakdown.
Yes,
Mine
it was.
will not be as detailed, but I'm going with Starburst, and in specific, Pink Starburst. So, yeah, I'm going with the number 2 here for the upset.
Upset.
I go with Caden. I've loved Starburst my whole life, and I could eat Pink Starburst literally all day. So, Starburst.
Moving on. So the championship matchup here. We've got Reese's and Starburst. So we gotta think pretty hard about that. I want to see if there's anybody else that wants to call in. We might take one more call here. Give us some time to think about the championship before we finish it out here and leave y'all to it for the night. 502-234-1504. Anybody else wants to call in, especially if you've never called in before, give us a shout. We'd love to hear from you. We had a lot of calls on our post-game show for the Missouri game this weekend. And Corey, I feel like whenever we lose, like the post-game shows get more people on because, more people want to talk about it. So I don't want us to lose, but like the show gets a lot more traffic when we lose because, people have stuff to say. So.
And also it was a night game. So the post-game show was late at night and people probably drank a lot of
apple juice.
Apple juice.
Yes. That's right. Yeah. Anybody else that wants to call, feel free. 502-234-1504. Sprees are another one that Claude is mentioned here in the comments. That's one that I forgot to put in the bracket. It didn't make the tournament this year. It made the NIT. It had a bad year, but it's definitely still a tournament team. I feel like
Jamie likes both of these, and they're both very good. But unfortunately, we got to pick one.
We do have to pick one. It's our duty. We're not like KSR in the realm of we can't put people on hold, and also that we do finish our brackets. I'm talking Kentucky. Yeah, for me, I'm just going to make it interesting and say Starburst here because I know Caden's going to pick Reese's at least. I don't know what Corey's going to do, but I know Caden's going to pick Reese's, right?
Yeah, I mean, do I even have to say it? Because I think it's that obvious. Just like Anthony Davis was the best player in the country in 2012.
Yeah, I didn't even have any doubt about that championship game, like against Kansas.
No.
Like I knew we were going to win before it even started. So
what did he have? 2 points, and he still dominated the game. But
we still won. Yeah.
Corey's probably got a stat about that game too, I'm sure. But I'm going with Reese's, and then Corey can decide it for us.
Of course, I have to decide it, man. This is tough. Boy, I've loved both of them my whole life. Man, I think lately I have eaten more Reese's, so I will probably have to go with the 1 seed Reese's.
Reese's wins the Talkin Kentucky 2023 Halloween Candy Bracket Champion. I know Christina's going to be happy about that. Caden's happy about that. And
Dead giveaway on this one. As soon as I saw that,
giveaway.
As soon as you sent me in, I saw this first team. I thought, well, yeah, it's game over.
It's good. It's game over. We forgot to list the total points, but that's okay. You know, I don't know if we can really break it down to that level, but Reese's wins the bracket. So and I like that that graphic that Caden put on there. I don't know how I feel about the Talking Kentucky being in orange, especially as we're about to play Tennessee. I think that's a little weird, but other than that, you know, that's okay. But well, thank you guys very, very much for joining us tonight and checking us out. If you haven't already, subscribe to us on all little platforms below. You know, we've got all our stuff listed down there. We got Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and then we're streaming on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, right now. So you could follow us on there too if you would like. Blue Light Games this weekend, right? That's the next big thing, right? Is that going to be on TV? Do we know? Or at least
SEC
on,
Network, at least, right?
I think it's probably going to be on the computer, as they say. I think it's going to be on that SEC Network alternate channel. So Caden, we'll probably do like a little talking or whatever. What do we call it? TK's take. Is that what we're going? We'll probably do a little TK's take video for that. And then we'll be back next Thursday night for episode number 74 and get you set for Tennessee. And which hopefully is a game that we win. But Corey, thank you so much for coming on again, and thank you for helping us pick our candy bracket champion. As always, that's the big thing. And y'all go follow Corey too on all his stuff. He's got his Twitter handle. I believe that's your Twitter handle up there, isn't it? Is that what it is? Yeah, at Corey P08. Go follow him and all the cool stuff that he does. And you've been going on Nick Roush's show, right? Kentucky Roll Call. Is that it? Nick Roush does that, right? Am I correct about
Nick
that?
Roush and TJ Walker, correct?
And TJ Walker, gotcha. So you've been going on. Are you doing that every week?
Yep, every Thursday. I was doing it at 8:15 because I was calling in from work on like a break. But I found out that where they're doing the show, it's close to where I live and close to where I work. So I decided to go in and do it with them live. So I'm now doing it like either 7:15 or 7:30, so I can still get to work by 8. So yeah, it's Thursdays. I enjoy it. I ask some questions, trivia. 99% of the time they get them all wrong, which is just funny. But yeah,
just like us.
Cool. Yeah, well,
it's just like us. Well, that's awesome. So y'all go check Corey out on that stuff too. And yeah, we can't say how much we appreciate you coming on again. It's awesome.
I enjoyed it as always.
Maybe we can have you on again when we get knocked out of the tournament in March, or win it. You know, one of the two. For Coleman Scott, for Caden Holmes, for Corey Price, and for Reese's and chocolate, which it's the goated candy that everybody seems to think. This has been Talking Kentucky, and we'll see you guys next time. Go Cats.